Let's go into looking at earnings now. The first one here, Stanbic-Ibtc Holdings. If you have to look at the 2022 and 2021 earnings there, look at that's about. If you can have it on the screen for our viewers there, of course that'd be interesting there. But just take a look at the figures on your table, or let's say, yeah, you have it there. You have the profit after tax, you have the earnings per share, you also have, of course, you also have a profit margin, you have dividend. In 2022, of course, you have your revenue jump from 206.04 billion naira in 2021 to 287.5 billion in 2022 there. Look at the percentage change with about 37.55 there percent. Profit after tax with about 41.87% from 56.97 to 80.81 billion in 2022. Just take a look at this figure and then of course we'll go. So let me start from you, Ambrose. Is this impressive?
Yeah, I would say this is a good number from Stanbic-Ibtc. And also looking at for me, the share initial number is very, very few compared to others in the industry. And it has reflected also in the number, seeing about 6 naira 3 kobo for the full year ended December 2022. It's a good number. And also the payouts remain 2 naira. And recently, all results that came to the market, yes, some of them are missed number. But I noticed that it's only few companies are just able to grow their payout. Most companies are just paying most what they did the previous year or just a little up. I tell you that the payout this time was not so, for me, it was not so attractive. And despite that, yes, most of the stock are pulled back. We expected that with the pullback, we're seeing a good yield now, which is okay. But we expected that more dividend will come. But from what we're seeing, this company have done well. I would say, despite the challenging period for 2022, we are seeing that most results from the different sector are showing strength. That means the company earnings power remain positive. For Stanbic, for me, the number is very, very impressive. And if they sustain this trend in 2023, as all eyes are, looking for Q1 number for 2023 in April, if they sustain this trend, that would be good for Stanbic. But I tell you, Stanbic is one of the most defensive stock in the banking sector. No matter how the market fluctuates, there's a level that stock don't go below. It tells you that stock has that stability, that investors that are thinking of also investing in that sector also can do the work for Stanbic-Ibtc.
Let me go back to Mr. Kasimu Krofi. Talk to us about this. You've seen this figure. So how impressive do you think these figures are?
Well, when we look at the double-digit growth, it's a very welcome development ahead of the inflation. But in terms of rewarding the shareholder, we are not satisfied. Paying 2 naira and maintaining the 2 naira, they should have done better. In view of the fact that other sisters in the industry, like Zenith, like UB, they all top their dividend. So we expect that the Stanbic should have done much better than what they have paid. In any way, they have not disappointed the investors, and that is why the price is where it is today.
Okay. Banu, talk to us about this. It looks like the company has not changed pretty much from what it paid in 2021 and 2022 with regards to dividends.
Yeah, the dividend payment is not quite impressive. At least there is supposed to be a kind of top up on the dividend payment. But looking at their performance at large, the profit margin of 28% is quite very impressive. Despite the fact that the company took a very large impairment in the year 2022 compared to what they had in 2021. So despite that, they still had a very positive profit there. But in terms of the dividend, it's not quite impressive, because if hadn't been they had a top up on their dividend payment, then the price wouldn't have been the price is trading today.
Okay. So let's wrap up with another bank here, Zenith Bank earnings. Perhaps we'll be able to look at the healthcare sector next week. But now let's wrap up with these. Look at the revenue from 765.56 billion in 2021 fourth quarter to 945.55 billion in 2022 fourth quarter. Year on year, you say that the change there went up by 24%. Profit after tax, look at the figure also, but of course, it's down a little bit with about 8.4% there. Earnings per share moved up. I mean, also down, you have the earning per share also losing there. Instead of 7.78% in 2021 as you had it, you now have 7.14 there. So it's at 7.14 kobo. And look at the dividend at 2.90 kobo in 2022 fourth quarter year on year there. So Ambrose, let me start with you.
Yeah, like I said earlier before now, that that number is a missed one, because you see the top line in green and you are seeing the bottom line, you know, slightly in red. It shows that something has happened. And if you look at the provision they made for the current financial year under review now, it shows that it's huge. And because of they have operation in Ghana, about 53 billion was made as form of a non-performing loan, you know, arising from that investment in that domain. For me, it's not a bad one, but also as the bank is going into a holding company, that's my own concern. We have seen that the profit after tax has slowed down slightly, and if you are going to holding company, automatically you are going to increase your cost of operation, because you're going to be running two board, your banking and also the holding company, especially, and also before you're able to bring back all those companies you have, you know, before now, whether you have put on hold, you have sold,
right.
You know, going back for them, it take you time before that start contributing to your bottom line. Okay. I believe that, you know, after this this full year, you know, as well as on the first quarter, if the quarter remain positive, fine, but I believe there will be a slowdown in terms of earnings, because things have to also come up.
Let me quickly go to Mr. Kofi there. So what happened to the bottom line? If you can do that in 45 seconds as we wrap up now, what happened to the bottom line in red? And then, of course, the top line is in green. Hello, Mr. Kofi.
Yes, we have seen the decline in the earnings, but marginal improvement in the dividend, and that gives the investors confidence to sustain the price. And you can see that the price was able to be sustained. Okay. We hope that they will do better.